Diaiv Machorja. This video is going to be a strange one. I deal with a lot of grief from the loss of my cat Scotty, and I process that a lot in this video. There are also some fun things peppered in, some good chuckles, and we do visit Vandalier Gardens in Kilrush as well, and have some forest school. So if you make it through, then Gura Mila Mahagat.
No.
Scotland. Pretty girl. Good girl. Oh, she's purring. Oh, honey. Okay, so we haven't had a moment to really update fully. We are driving now to the vets. It was a very emotional day yesterday. I'm still a bit tense from it all, but she survived. She survived overnight. She went home with the vet. She stood up today, so it's all good signs. And we're gonna go visit her now. And then we're gonna go look at some land to possibly live on. So, woo! It's a mixed bag today, folks.
Something like that. I probably get to leave the own eyes. You know, people I know that would give me a building. Cases. So why is it called case fog? But that's case. This bit here. This fog, yeah. Case fog. And he said it's every.
These are Annie's wellies, so thank goodness for Annie at this moment. My cat Scotty died yesterday morning after a really hard and traumatizing battle for survival, the poor thing. She's had something wrong with her eyes for a while, one eye particularly, since I came back from Sligo. It was swollen and there was blood coming out of her nose, and we thought she had a growth in there, so she was on medication constantly for it since the 1st of February. Finally, we realized it was her tooth, so we had that removed on Friday, and she had to go under for that. She has a heart murmur, so that can be very challenging. She made it through, so I was like just beyond relieved the whole time during surgery. I was mourning her, thinking she was going to be gone. So that was a miracle. And then because of all the medication she's been on since the 1st of February, she ended up developing an ulcer, which Monday morning ruptured. I could see her kind of going downhill, and I kept bringing her back to the emergency vet over the weekend. And then Monday morning, I heard her screaming, and I ran upstairs, and she was just panting and drooling in the window, and I brought her immediately in. She had emergency surgery for this ulcer, so it was a very invasive surgery. The vet took her home overnight. She was walking around his kitchen in the morning, and then he brought her back into the clinic. She was walking around. She was in a lot of pain, and then the vet at the time, which I didn't give approval for this, and I'm really grappling with this, and I'm really struggling with this, the other vet decided to tube feed her. I knew she couldn't eat at that moment, but they wanted her to eat so she could be released. So they tube fed her, and she immediately vomited and then coded. So they gave her adrenaline to bring her back to life. And then after that, she was just catatonic. I mean, no pun, truly, like she was non-responsive. And because she was in so much pain, they kept her heavily sedated. So that night, which was Tuesday night, the vet was like, look, she's going to stay in the vet's by herself overnight. And I was like, oh my God, what if something happens? So I actually had to drive her all the way down to Limerick Tuesday night to bring her to the emergency vet, which, forget about the fortune that all of this is costing me. And the whole time she was in the back seat, just staring up at my daughter, just laying there, and then in the vet, just staring up at us, her little eyes, just looking at us. And I just kept saying, like, I'm doing this to save your life. How do you explain to an animal why they're suffering? She had gone through so much, and she came back. She was still fighting, so I just wanted to give her a chance. And she was going to be monitored because of the rupture of her ulcer. The problem was the toxins in her body, so she needed a few days of like intense monitoring and intravenous antibiotics and pain meds, because it's painful, everything that she went through. Her poor heart. So I left her there looking at us, laying on her side as we left. The vets were amazing in Limerick. They gave me a hug. They were really sweet. They rang me at midnight saying that she was not responsive, but she was still breathing and her heart was beating. Her temperature was really low. So I took that as she was dying, and I mourned her that night. The next morning at 7:50, I received a call from them saying that she stabilized. I was on cloud 9. I thought she died. Her temperature was normal range. Her heart rate was in normal range. And I actually was like, okay, now I'm going to go to sleep. And I was going to go down and see her at 11. It's an hour's drive. So I finally thought I could sleep for the first time in like 5 days. An hour later, I got a phone call saying that she was in cardiac arrest and vomiting and all kinds of stuff was coming out. So I said, please put her down. This is terrible. This is a cat who, if I'm not around, she's hiding. Like, she relies so much on me and my daughter. We are all she has because she's a very nervous cat around others. She's very afraid. When I went to Sligo for the week and came back, that's when she was the sickest she ever was because the people minding my animals never even saw her. And it's just heartbreaking that it all started that way and that she ended up having to be alone all of this time. So I'm really grappling with the grief of it all and the guilt. I have a lot of guilt for leaving her alone in scary circumstances without us, knowing that that was all very traumatizing for her heart and stressful and all the pain that she was in. And I have so much guilt that I didn't just put her down. But it was like just a tooth extraction and then she was fine. And in the moment when her ulcer ruptured, it was like, I had to make a decision like that. And so I just made the decision to give her the surgery thinking she would come out of that. I never would have put her through all of this. So anyway, yesterday morning after I got the call, I look terrible, I'm sorry. You can fast forward through this if you want to. I got my daughter and we were heading down to Limerick. And my friend at the time just rang me. My friend Lisa. And I was basically like hyperventilating. I don't cope well with this. I just don't. They're my life. My child and my pets are my life. And she said, look, you can't drive like this. Just come to me and I'll drive you. And she actually took me down and just held me. When they brought out my baby Scotty for me to say goodbye, she was already gone. And I just kissed her and my friend was just there. She handled everything. I couldn't. And she brought me to my other friend's house, who you probably know, Annie and Bruce. They have a YouTube channel. And they're so amazing. They let me bury her there under a beautiful horse chestnut tree. All the children came around and we had Scotty in a wheelbarrow laying in the pillowcase that she always slept on next to my head. And all the girls just sat around holding her and petting her. And my friends dug the hole. And I laid her in as Bruce played the guitar and all the girls collected stones. I'm crying on the internet. I don't even care. This is real, people. It was a beautiful goodbye. And it's like the silver lining in this. I'm still processing it. I'm still crying, obviously. It's just yesterday. I know there are worse things going on in the world, and to some people, it's just a cat. But for me, I've been romantically single for 6 years. My bed every night is just my pets and me, and they are my comfort. They rely on me. When someone relies on you so wholly, you have such a responsibility for them. Especially my one cat, Scotty, who just was, like I said, fearful of everyone else. Anyway, that's where we are. It's been a hell of 5 days, 6 days. She's at peace now. It was far too soon. It was just a tooth. It never should have gone this way, but just please be mindful of all the medications you give your pets. They do have consequences, especially over long term. I wish I would have dealt with the tooth sooner and all that infection she was constantly swallowing with all the medications. It led to the ulcer and she was suffering. Poor baby. So anyway, this is an RIP to my beloved Scotty, little Scotland, the only cat that I have ever had since she was a kitten, except for the new one now. Since before my daughter was born, she was my dream cat. My mom found her in a bucket with her brother and sister. She was the hissiest little thing. My mom said, don't take her, she's just hissy. And I said, no, she's my dream cat. And I took her, and she's never changed, but not to me. She was an angel to me and to my daughter. And the most cuddly, sweet thing. She has all of her little places around the house. She was into her routines. She was so predictable. All of her little sounds. I recorded her purring. I think it was on the 20th of March. So she had her eye issue, but I never could have predicted what was going to happen. Anyway, this is my ode to her. Thanks for watching if you made it through that. So. They're so beautiful. Oh, they're beautiful. Oh, Scotty. It's been 3 days since Scotty died. And you know when you lose somebody that you love, there's everything thereafter is a first. So it's the first time since, it's the first time since. I put on this corduroy jacket, and the right side has like no fuzz, but the left side has all of her hair, because I would carry her always on this side and she would just slump over. And this is the jacket that I carried her into the vet's for the last time when she was actually upright in. So it's a lot of firsts. I have to go into town and get some litter and empty out the tray, which will have remnants of her in it, you know. Everything's just a first. I've been very weepy and wobbly and just struggling with it. I can't stop seeing her little eyes staring up at me after she was pretty much paralyzed and unable to communicate, and she was no longer purring and things like that. So I have a lot of guilt and sadness that I'm still moving through, and those visuals of her eyes just staring at me keep replaying in my mind, and all that she went through when I wasn't there all by herself. So again, I'm still moving through that. I don't know how long it'll take. That's just the way it goes. Trying to remember the good, which can be really hard, even though the good way outweighed the bad. Tomorrow we're going back to my friend Annie's house, and I will be seeing her gravesite for the first time since I laid her into it. Hopefully the children and all of us will paint some rocks to put there, and I want to paint on mine. It's gonna make me cry, I'm sorry. I want to say, hi, Scotty, because whenever you wanted her, if you were anywhere in the house, all you would have to do is say, hi, Scotty, in a high-pitched voice, and she would chirp and meow and come running with her tail straight up. So I really want to do that. That was always how we got her. And then another one that says Scotty Boobalati, because that's her nickname. And Scott. So anyway, yeah, just moving through it, and this is what it is. And I'm still functioning, you know, as a human being. I still have life. You know, the house has gone to absolute shit. And I'm just being easy on myself. Like, I've had people ask if they could come over, children sleep over, and I've had to have boundaries with that, because I can't prioritize this house, this living space, and all of this grief right now. I spent the day yesterday filming for the self-directed learning community documentary. It's not just about us, it's about the idea in general. And then we had a meeting, so it was just full on. It was kind of good to be out in public. I just see how puffy my eyes look. This is reality, folks. I'll always give you reality. Boring or whatever it might be. Yeah, it was good to be around people, and I laughed a few times, which felt really nice. But then, of course, coming home, it's like, I don't want to be home, but I also don't want to go anywhere because then I have memories of everything. Today, I now have to go to the vet's office, which is going to be very difficult. I have to collect her brush, which was her absolute favorite thing, and the blanket that brought her comfort when she was sleeping in my bed. She'd be covered in it, and I sent it with her to the vet's. She had vomited on it just before she coded, so they washed it. So it won't, you know, have anything of her left on it, which makes me sad. And I have to pay the vets for everything, which feels a bit, I mean, I understand that it has to be paid, but it's like, I'm not bringing her home, so it's money that just went to torturing her. But anyway, that's where we are. Go get cat litter and just try to have some semblance of normalcy. And probably just have a quiet day after that. Just went to the vet, and I've got her brush, her little hair in it, and this she rubbed on even after her surgery. She rubbed on that, and the blanket that she was in. And the vet's assistant, well, the receptionist said we were all really sad about her. So okay, so we're gonna check in on all the animals today. I'm sure they feel it too, the loss in the house. So Luna, how you doing, Lou? How you doing, Lulu? Say hi. Oh, they always sniff it as if there's a smell on it. And Brightheart is right here. Hey, Brightheart. Hey, out of the road, buddy. Brightheart. Oh, this cat is freaking me out because he jumps out when he hears our car. I'm trying to teach him it's not good. But he follows us. He's always on the road, excited for when we come home. And I don't know how to keep him off the road. Okay, this is so ridiculous and so bad. Children do not do this at home. But as an American, there are certain foods I haven't had in a really long time. Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts. This is actually vegan. It says vegan down there. Can you see it? Vegan. Chocolate Pop-Tart. So I'm not going to cook it because I just have to dig right in. Like I said, don't try this at home, folks. I have one hand.
Top twists.
Top twists, but they're, you know, the version of Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Little joy amidst the crap of life. Okay, so far they look believable. They probably be better cooked. Oh, big white. I'll get you for the crust.
How dare you?
Yep. It's a pretty good dupe. Do you like it?
It's fine. They've given up their life already. They understand what's going on. I'm going to get in now. I'm getting everything. We're having it all. Yeah. Is Lisa there?
These are all working
That's ours.
on it
So
together.
plus these four.
Okay.
Oh, Katrina's book. So mix of ages.
Can you bring me some? Yeah. Thank you.
We are at Forest School, and today and tomorrow are Easter camps. This is the toilet setup. Isn't it great? Little washing station. They have climbing ropes back here. A big fallen tree, which is becoming a fort. We have activities set up. Under that tarp is maybe the small fire. It's pretty cool. And they can kind of do what they want to do. So it's pretty much like the learning community that we're making, but fully outside. And obviously with the resources we have, but I'm happy to be part of it. My friend Lisa is doing it, who's also setting up the learning community with me. So great opportunity to practice our working together. Happy Good Friday? Apparently it's Good Friday. I am at Vanderleer Gardens in Kilrush. I'll show you around a little bit. There's a walled garden, a lovely forest. I've got the girls with me. The sun is shining. It's incredible. Have a look.
Gang.
Who's the gang? Wild garlic. I have terrible breath, but so worth it. Love it. Again, not in the right shoes. Oh. Mwah.
Crazy. There's a really nice pen in it and lip balm.
Bluebells. Yay.
From my back.
One of my comfort shows is Bones, and my daughter hears it because I play it while I'm washing the dishes. Now we're in a forest. We just saw an overturned trolley in the water. She was like, is there a body in there? Uh-oh, now we're all kinds of freaked out. Anyone else have a show like that you just watch over and over again? I've seen that one the entire 12 seasons twice. Especially when I go through things like grief. I just like to have it on in the background. I love the characters. That one in Orphan Black, I watched twice. Don't tell anyone. What do you watch? What's your comfort show? Oh my God, look at this. I am in cloth barefoot shoes. Oh, yummy. Goodbye. Did you hear them? Another dead body? Oh no. Let me investigate.
Over in the mud, you wouldn't be able to see, but I saw a little bit of a skull. Yeah.
Do we need to call Bones?
Yeah.
Oh.
You think we should get gelatin gummy bears? I don't know, maybe we should get plastic gummy bears?
We need Bones. Who's Bones? Who's Booth?
I'm Bones. Who's Bones and who's Booth? What is it? Look at all the wood lice. I'm going to put it back. I can go like this. What?
Oh, it's their little
Oh,
habitat.
Come on. Oh, like hundreds of wood lice in that thing. How are you going to put it back?
Who would have done that?
Maybe it's full of dead bodies.
Who is throwing rubbish like this? Look at all the rubbish over there. What? I'm looking. See all that? Body.
It's encrusted dead body. It's covered in
I think it's mushrooms.
encrusted dead body.
Uh-oh.
Ew, dog poop.
Uh-oh. It's human poop. That's a human turd, and there's tissue.
That is their last poo and they died over there.
I'm not sure it went that far, but I think we need to leave.
That is
Hey. It stinks. It's called a wild poo. Bless you, whoever did it.
I love you.
This is normally where the really fun, I have to put some videos in. This is like the water park.
He's using the as a shield.
Down in the valley, oh, row the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, row the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. And the tree and the bird and the egg and the nest on the tree and the
I have a didgeridoo. It's more like a didgeridoo. Anyway, I went to, what was it? I don't know, some Christmas fair for my daughter's school at the time. And one of the parents, super cool lad called Fez, he brought in didgeridoos that he made out of PVC pipe. So this was a while ago and I became enamored with the idea. And have been watching videos on how to do it ever since. Sounds a lot easier to do than it actually is. When I first got this one, I got it from Gear for Music. It's a Meinl, M-E-I-N-L. It's made out of bamboo. It's pretty consistent from top to bottom in terms of shape, and I don't know if that makes a difference, but I suck. I try not to talk negatively about myself. My daughter can do it. I was doing it at the start, but see, the mouth opening was really wide, so I actually got wax and I reshaped it. Now it's too small, but when it's too wide, it hurts my mouth because my whole mouth was like eating my face. Anyway, do you want to hear it? It sounds like I'm farting into a tube.
Hello?
So you're supposed to do this with your inner, like, keep these in and then let your lips flap naturally. It only sounds good when I let my cheeks puff out, but you're not supposed to do that. So when I do this, it sounds like I'm going into a tube. It's not making the resonant sound. So I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not giving up because I really want to do it. Ready? And I've been trying circular breathing. This is so funny. This is not a how-to, friends. This is like a how-don't. Basically, what was that? That was my version of circular breathing. It doesn't work. Anyway, I'll track my progress. I'm trying every day. I'm using YouTube University. Come on, baby. We can get this. We can do it. I'm really drawn to it. The sound. I've always loved percussion. It like does something to my heart. And beatboxing, I love. Not a skill that I have. So to me, this was like the marriage of both. That was more within the realm of my capabilities. But yeah, easier said than done, like I said. So farting in a tube for now. Ever since my cat Scotty died, I've been finding white feathers everywhere. I feel like they're coming from her.